welcome to another work week, everybody. I'm Dave Morris. Thanks for clicking on The Play. It's Monday, July 29th, and coming up in this edition of The Play, we'll take a look at some of the stories that will be featured in upcoming editions of the Oklahoman and on our website, newsok.com, including the following headlines: how are transportation officials responding to the latest reports about Oklahoma's roads, and why are millions of dollars in federal funds going to the deceased? I can't wait to hear that one myself. But first, a joint human trafficking operation between the FBI and the Oklahoma City Police Department. And joining us now, the Oklahoma's Nick Tragakis. Nick, thanks for your time today.
Sure.
And this joint human trafficking operation was over the weekend and even into the previous week.
Yeah, it's been about a week-long project with the FBI in collaboration with police forces in 76 different cities across the country. And what they were trying to do was crack down on underage prostitution. And they had a lot of success. They released some final figures from their sting operation today. Nationwide, 105 juveniles were recovered or rescued, if you will, from the sex trade. 3 of them right here in Oklahoma City. 60 arrests were made here in Oklahoma City and several hundred arrests across the country. What law enforcement are telling us is that it's important to try to get these underage girls out of that type of lifestyle at an early age, because that's when they're not making their own decisions and opting to stay in it. You can definitely kind of rescue them at that point. So these kind of efforts are really important, is what they're telling us.
A true rescue effort. That is a story our Brian Dean is working on. Another story we're working on is this national report on Oklahoma roads. And what have we learned?
Well, there was an analysis that came out in the national media today saying, kind of painting an unflattering picture of Oklahoma's roads and bridges. Now, we know that's sort of been an ongoing thing in Oklahoma, fixing deficient bridges and stuff like that. This analysis that came out, looking at some data from the past few years, had Oklahoma ranked very poorly. 36% of pavement in the state in poor condition, they said. 23% of bridges considered structurally deficient. So we took these numbers and visited with ODOT today, our state transportation department. What they said is it's not as bad as it seems. The data in this analysis was a couple years old. ODOT says that transportation funding has been going up pretty steeply here in the past few years, and they've actually made really good progress on the state-owned bridges, bringing them into structural compliance. And they're hoping to get more money now and really tackle the roads. But they said that not as bad as it looks on the surface, at least.
And that's a story, as you can see, that's being worked on by our Andrew Niddle. And in conjunction with this story, Michael McNutt's working on something about rest stops, which also goes into some ODOT funding. I'm looking at my script here, and it says that several federal agencies are sending millions of dollars to deceased individuals. My question is, what?
Yeah, that's the same question we asked when we first learned about this story. The problem really centers around the U.S. Department of Agriculture. And it's a good news, bad news thing for them. The bad news is that in 2007, a study came out, and it showed that over a course of several years, they had paid out almost $1 billion in benefits to deceased, mostly farmers. They are set to receive automatic payments, and when they were dying, the payments just continued. In some cases, the payments were okay because they were going to family who were qualified to receive those payments, but in some cases they weren't. A new study by the Government Accountability Office is out, and it says that while there has been improvement, there's a couple agencies within the Agriculture Department that are still making these payments to deceased people. The problem, according to the study, is that they just don't have the checks and balances in their computer systems to identify when they should stop paying someone. It's so automated, and there's no filter there that tells them to stop. So maybe another case of government waste kind of run amok there.
Wow, very interesting. All right, Nick, thanks for your time today.
Sure.
Those stories and more can be found in upcoming editions of the Oklahoman and on our website at newsok.com. Have a great night, everybody.